The following is a special presentation of TV6 and Fox UP.
Hi, I'm Walt Lindela. You may know me from the radio, you may know me from the music scene, but those of you who may know me the best know that I'm a Yooper with very strong Finnish roots. Today, I have my Finn hat on as we take a look at the influence of Finland on celebrations of Christmas here in Upper Michigan. I'm standing here in the Finnish American Heritage Center at Finlandia University in Hancock. This building's very existence is a testament to the influence of Finnish culture in Upper Michigan. We're going to explore some of that culture when we talk with Jim Kurti, director of the center, in just a moment. And a little later on, we're going to talk with Tanya Stanaway from Ishpeming. She's a local musician and a Finnish educator who is a strong advocate for Finnish culture in the UP. Jim and Tanya will be sharing some of their favorite Christmas childhood memories, and so will I. So stay tuned as we celebrate a Finnish Christmas. Welcome back to A Finnish Christmas. Joining me now is Jim Kurti, who is the director of the Finnish American Heritage Center here at Finlandia University in Hancock. Thanks for having us, Jim.
Very happy to have you here.
You know, before we get going into some of the Finnish Christmas stuff, I'd like to ask you a little bit about the Finnish American Heritage Center. Tell me a little bit about its history. Why is it here? How did it come to be?
Well, the building opened in 1990 at a FinFest. And it was the culmination of many years of the university, which was formerly Suomi College, to express its Finnish identity, and it was a place then to house the Finnish American Historical Archive and to have a much bigger expression of Finnish identity for the university and for the region.
It is an important part of this region, but an important part of Upper Michigan. What are some of the aspects of Finnish culture that you maintain here?
Well, we have three key pieces in the building, and one is the Finnish American Reporter, which is a monthly English language newspaper for Finns across the country. And we actually have subscribers in 8 other countries as well. And we have the Finnish American Historical Archive, which was founded in 1932. And it is the largest collection of Finnish American materials anywhere in the world, and growing all the time. We are now the only archive anywhere that's actively collecting Finnish American materials, so the responsibility is quite great. The third piece is we have public spaces like the space we're in now, the Martha Wilchinen Hall, and these spaces are used for community classes, for Finnish language classes, for Arkivajat dancers, which is the children's dance group out of this center. We have roughly 40 to 50 children in the group, and they are working towards going to Finland for the 3rd time this summer. One
of the things that I noticed walking in is I see a lot of art.
Well, that's number 4 in the building, and that's Finlandia University's art gallery. And the exhibits out there oftentimes represent Finnish American and Finnish artists, but other artists as well.
How does this all fit into the mission of the Heritage Center to share your stories about Finnish Christmas?
Very much it's part of our mission, because we are here to interpret, to preserve, and to present Finnish American cultural life.
What have been some of the major successes since this center has been open? What are some of your favorite events that you've done?
Well, I think a lot of people would say that FinFest 2013, which very well may have been the last great FinFest as far as size. We have really collected a lot of materials for the archive, and some very big collections have come in particular from the East Coast in the last few years. So we're very happy about those things. We're happy that we are now the largest newspaper for Finns in North America, and we're larger than all the other papers put together. So I think those kinds of things make us feel good about what we're doing.
You know, Jim, I have to ask you though, what do you think is the future of Finns here in the UP, in America, and what role does this center play in that?
I think the center plays a very big role. We have our children's dance group, the Kivajat, and here's 40, 50 children. A year ago we had a waiting list, People are always complaining that the young people aren't interested in Finnish culture, but we certainly have found some ways that they are.
Well, let's get into kind of sharing a little bit of the Finnish Christmas aspect. I know you have some items over here on display. Let's go take a look at some of those. Well, the reason we're here is to showcase some of the Finnish influence on Christmas. You've been kind enough to break out some things from the archives here at the center. Jim, tell me a little bit about some of the things that you've got.
Well, here we have some 100-year-old Christmas cards, mostly in the Finnish language, representing different political and religious aspects of Finnish American life. Here's some photographs of celebrating Christmas here at Suomi College and at a temperance hall in South Range. An advent calendar that came from Finland, as well as these items, which came probably shortly after the war. We have some traditional Nordic decorations, and this one is a chime, so when the candles are lit.
Yeah, this really takes me back, because this reminds me of things that I remember seeing both at my family's house and in Finland, where you light the candles and the heat gets these angels to spin around, and it really builds a great atmosphere.
Yeah, and it's just kind of a gentle sound in the background. And then a lot of the ornaments that were made in Finland, Finland was a poor country for a long time, so they had to use what was available and inexpensive. So they used wood, and they made things like these birds, fan birds, and they made the St. Thomas cross, which is a very old Finnish tradition. They made things out of straw, they made things out of paper. These would hang on a tree, and you would put little treats inside for someone.
And they're so intricate. I mean, taking it from nothing really to create these beautiful pieces. So it's just a good sign of the Finnish spirit.
The mission of the center, of course, is Finnish American life, and that includes both what's made and used here and things that come from Finland to kind of imbue us.
Tell me a little bit more about some of the things here.
These are some very traditional Finnish decorations. This red candlestick is just a very quintessential part of Finland, and so are the straw goats. You know, joulupukki, which is Santa Claus, really translates to Christmas goat. In the olden days, before the concept of Santa as we have it today, it was a goat that brought the gifts.
That's interesting. So there's that tradition right there. Now, speaking of Santa Claus or the joulupukki, you definitely have something here of something that's very special. What is this?
This is a joulupukki costume that's actually owned by the city of Hancock and used at Heikinpäivä, and it's used now during the holiday season. And it represents the Finnish joulupukki. So he's got the longer coat, he's got a Finnish mail bag that he carries the gifts in, and of course he's got the lapikat boots that are essential for trekking the fields and forest of Lapland.
You know, you talk about the Finnish influence on Christmas. You talk about, you know, it being an influence here with Finns, but you couldn't have Santa Claus or joulupukki without the Finns, because he's from Finland.
He's from Finland, absolutely.
Well, Jim, thank you very much for breaking all this out for us and bringing it out for everybody to see. I'm sure it's got you thinking about some of your own childhood Christmas memories, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Can you share some of those with us in a bit?
Sure.
All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about the importance of food in Finnish culture and the celebration of a Finnish Christmas. So stay tuned. It's on the way. Welcome back to A Finnish Christmas. A big part of Finnish Christmas and its heritage has to do with food, and it has to do with music. And a person who knows that very well is Tanya Stanaway. Tanya was born and raised in Finland and moved to the States in the 70s. Now she's a well-known musician and a Finnish language instructor. She's welcoming us to her home to share her Christmas memories. So let's say hi to Tanya Stanaway. Päivää!
Päivää, päivää. Welcome. Tule sisään. Come on in, Walt.
Kiitos, kiitos. Hauskaa joulua.
Kiitos, sitä samaa sinulle.
Kiitos, kiitos.
Hei, mennään istumaan tuonne.
Okay.
Okay.
She says we'll have a seat. Let's do it. This looks great. What do we have here? Let's get right into it.
Well, yeah, we have some Finnish cardamom bread right here. And then we have the Christmas tarts with broom filling. And we have some cookies, sugar cookies with the Finnish flag on it.
Right.
And we have something to go a little saltier. We have a Finnish rye bread with the cheese and salami on it.
Okay, cardamom bread. We hear about that a lot in Finnish foods. What is it? How's it made?
Well, it's made, it takes a lot of time to make it, because you have to make a dough first, and then you have to wait it to rise, Sometimes it doesn't rise very fast. And then when you get it out, you have to roll it up on a board, and then you put cinnamon and butter, and you roll it up into like a little
like a braid?
Like a braid, yeah.
Okay, now the Christmas tarts here. This is really specific to Christmas time. Tell me about those. What's in there? How are these made?
It's made out of, it's a butter dough, and it's really a long time process too, because you have to roll the butter many times over, and sometimes you have to put it in the refrigerator for 10 minutes or so. And the more you roll it over, the flakier the Christmas tart will become. And you use a prune tart, so you use prunes as a fruit in there, but some people put apricots. But then it's not real Christmas tart. You take the prunes away, then that's no good.
Now you've also got something on the Finnish rye bread. This is a big part of Finnish food too.
It is, yeah. It's a dark rye bread, and it's something that you put on a table to go together with the sweet stuff. And it has a slice of cheese and salami on top. Sometimes they put sliced hard-boiled egg on the very top just to decorate it, I guess.
Well, let's talk about meals at Christmas time in Finland. What are some of the big foods that are usually on a Finnish Christmas table?
Well, we have the ham, and we have the rudabeki casserole, carrot casserole also, and we have rosolli, which is kind of a reddish color. It's because there's so many beets in there. And there's a herring in there. It's really good. It sounds kind of scary, but it's not. It's really good, but it makes your teeth all red for a while because there's so much beets in there. But it's one of the dishes that you have on your Christmas Eve, Christmas dinner. And then, of course, you have the rice pudding and the fruit sauce you put on top. And then you always take one white almond, and you put it, before you put it on a table, on a bowl, you put it in there, and then whoever gets that white almond, that means that person has a lot of luck for the whole year.
Okay, you're here, you've made a life here, you do a lot of Finnish things. You teach Finnish language courses.
Yes.
What, 39 years?
39 years, going on 40.
Fantastic. You do a lot of music.
Yes.
You do a lot of Finnish music and concerts. Why do you do that? Why is that important?
It's very important because the songs are there, and if someone doesn't do the songs, they're gonna fade away. And so I want to keep my part and sing them.
And how important is that, to keep these things going, to keep the Finnish culture going here in America?
It is, because there are so many Finnish people, maybe second generation or third, they never been to Finland, they really don't know about it. What is the real Finnish culture?
Well, this is all delicious. Thank you for getting all this together for us. I know we'll enjoy it here in just a little bit, but you're born and raised in Finland, and I'm sure you've got some great childhood Finnish Christmas memories. You want to share some of those with us?
Yes, and I have a lot of memories to share.
All right, we're going to do that in just a moment here when we come back with A Finnish Christmas. Welcome back. We're here in Tanya Stanaway's living room. She's going to talk a little bit about some of her childhood Christmas memories in Finland. So let's kind of get right down to that. I mean, well, what are some of your memories of Christmas time in Finland as a young one?
Well, there's a lot of memories and different ones, because you're considering 3 days of Christmas. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then the second Christmas Day, which is Tapaninpäivä.
Okay.
So the first Christmas Eve is the one that you stay home and you do stuff with your family. And at Christmas Day, that's when you go to the church in the morning, 7 o'clock, and then you just come home and you look what Santa brought you, and if you're a child, you play, of course. Of
course, yeah.
And then the third day is Tapaninpäivä. That's when you go and see what your friends got from Santa.
So what was it like for you as a little one? What do you remember? What are some of your early memories?
Well, the Santa Claus, when he came to your house, he makes a lot of noise when he comes in the porch. And then he comes in and he asks if there are any good kids in here. And of course, my brother and I, we were always very good. Always very good. And then we sit on the floor in front of Santa, and he starts giving out the presents.
In our American thought, in our way of looking at it, Santa comes down the chimney, the kids are gone to bed. Finnish way, for you as a little one, you waited and Santa came in the house.
Yes, and you sang a song to him first.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And it could be very little song because you didn't want to waste time on a song. You're hurried to see what
You want the presents.
Yeah, you wanted the present. And he gives them one by one. And then when he's done, he just say, well, I gotta go now because I have to go see other kids. And we just say, okay, see you next year. And none of us, my brother and I, did not touch anything. But as soon as Santa shut the door, that's it.
It's go time.
It was go time, and you see what you got.
What do you remember as a child in Finland about the serious side to it too? Tell me about that.
There is. You go to cemetery, and you walk. Well, we didn't have a car, so you walk, and it was always really cold and snowy. But you walked there, and you couldn't wait to come back because it was just a long road to go there. You bring a candle.
What did you do with that candle?
Put them on a graves.
On a family grave.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's more of the family kind of feel of the whole thing.
It
right?
is. It is.
Remember.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kiitos, for sharing your memories with us here today. I'd like to ask you, though, if you would be so kind as to send out a Finnish greeting, Christmas greeting in Finnish to all of our viewers.
Yes. Oikein hyvää joulua teille kaikille ja rauhallista joulua myös.
And that means what?
Very Merry Christmas to everybody and a peaceful Christmas.
Kiitos.
Ole hyvä.
We're going to come back in just a little bit with some Christmas memories from Jim Curti. I'll have a few, and Tanya, if she's willing, is going to do a song. Would you do a Christmas song for us?
Yes, I will.
All right, we'll be back with more. That's coming up here on A Finnish Christmas. Welcome back to A Finnish Christmas. We're here at Jim Curti's home to share some of his memories. And Jim, thanks for having us. Let's talk a little bit about some of the Finnish culture that you've experienced being in Finnish communities as a youth. And tell me also a little bit about some of your memories as well.
Okay, well, I grew up in Bruce Crossing, which was a very Finnish town. I didn't realize I was Finnish, really, in a sense. As a child, I kind of understood the non-Finnish part of my family because we were the outsider in that sense. We were the anomaly in the town.
How was Christmas for you growing up?
Christmas was kind of the bridging of these two worlds, my non-Finnish side of the family and my Finnish side of the family. So my non-Finnish side, you know, they liked to, there was a lot of people there, aunts and uncles and cousins, and we would tear open the packages, and there was Christmas tree and something like Burl Ives or Perry Como was playing, and a lot of liveliness. And then with my Finnish grandparents, they were very conservative. They were Apostolic Lutheran, and they didn't believe in having a Christmas tree. It was very kind of somber and subdued. I remember one Christmas in particular, we had opened the gifts and we were having fun with those, and then all of a sudden it was announced that we had to go to the grandparents to have the second Christmas dinner, and I was upset. I didn't want to leave my toys. But other than that, the Finnish aspects of Christmas were these dinners and being with all these family members. My family was full of old maids and bachelors, and so it was a time that we all came together, even if they didn't talk very much or they weren't very animated. It was family.
So tell me, how is it for you now to celebrate Christmas in the modern time?
It's an evolution for me, because as a young person I became more interested in my Finnish roots, and then I had this opportunity to study in Finland at the University of Helsinki when I was 19, and I just really got hooked on everything Finnish, and to experience a Christmas in Finland, in the home where my grandfather grew up, when it was 40 below at noon and the sun only came out for about 2 hours. That was incredible. There was this kind of this quietness, and the quietness really began in the afternoon. You had a Christmas sauna, and then after that, all the fuss was over, and you had to relax and be with the family. And in Finland, at noon on Christmas Eve, from Turku, they give this proclamation of peace, and that's when everything is supposed to quiet down, and then you're more or less with your your close family members. It's not all this rowdiness that we have in this country. And one of the most compelling things, the most visual things, is in the evening they go to the cemeteries, and along with everybody they go to the graves and they put these candles on the graves. And if you're there on the later side of those times, you see a cemetery with thousands and thousands of candles.
What's your favorite part of a Finnish Christmas?
I think for me now, at this age in my life, it's actually a Christmas sauna. Because that tells me, okay, quit worrying about the preparations, and now it's begun. And it's kind of special to take a sauna in the afternoon, when it's broad sun outside. And after that, then, okay, Christmas has come now, and it's time to relax.
Well, Jim, thank you so much for having us in your home today and sharing your Christmas memories. It's been wonderful.
Well, thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Now, stay tuned. Coming up on A Finnish Christmas, I'll have some of my favorite Christmas memories, and we'll hear a song from Tanya Stanaway. That's up next here on A Finnish Christmas. Welcome back to A Finnish Christmas. I want to thank Tanya Stanaway and Jim Curdy for letting us into their homes to share some of their memories. Now, welcome to my home. Got a couple of them for you as well. One of the things is I was a Christmas time baby, born in December, and that always made it kind of interesting around Christmas time when it comes to presents. I grew up in Chassell, Michigan. It's just south of Houghton, small little town, lots of Finns, and if you're familiar with the area of Chassell, it was a few hundred folks, maybe 1,000. My graduating class had 24 people in it, so it was definitely small. But we always had Christmas concerts. I was in the band, loved doing the Christmas concerts from an early age, either just singing in the little elementary school choirs and that sort of thing. But then once I got into band and orchestra, I was a drummer, and I used to love to play the timpanis and things for the Christmas concerts, and that was always fun. And we did them in the old community center, which was the basketball arena that we had in Chassell. Very, very small little place, but everybody came out for the Christmas concerts, and it was always fun. But one of the things I do remember the most was that we always got packages from our friends and family in Finland. My mom was from Finland, my father was first generation Finn, and there was always something that showed up right around Christmas time. But the sad part was it would show up around my birthday as well, and we couldn't open it until Christmas morning. We looked forward to seeing them. The packaging was always unique and different. It had the airmail the stickers on it. It looked really cool when it showed up. It was always great to open packages directly from Finland on Christmas morning because there was Finnish chocolates. There was maybe some Finnish wall hangings or art. There was something in there that was always a great Finnish Christmas gift, and it's some of my favorite memories was when those would arrive in the mail. I also remember that when we were growing up that we had small Christmases. We've heard a lot about Christmases being small in Finland. My mom being from Finland, that was the way we did it. We'd go to church on Christmas Eve and we'd come back to the house and maybe we'd open up a gift, maybe two, and then of course we'd kind of open the rest of them on Christmas morning. What was fun about that was there was always just a gathering, and then we had a great meal and then just relaxed and unwind for the day and enjoyed it. Very small though. We didn't have large Christmases. Our family was not big, and that meant that we didn't have a lot of people coming over in particular on Christmas time or Christmas Day. But it was a good time. It was always happy. I always remember it being happy. Well, there's a few of my Christmas memories, and I'd also like to thank Jim and Tanya for sharing some of theirs here on this special program. Also, I want to thank you for joining us as we've tried to show you today the influence of Finnish culture on Christmas here in Upper Michigan and in America. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to have a little bit of music now from Tanya Stanaway to send us off, but I just want to say, hauskaa joulua ja onnellista uutta vuotta. That's Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hey, hey.
Joo. vain